Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of City Skylines. James Wright has been tweeting. Apparently we have won the most attractive city, which is actually no surprise to me because this thing has tons and tons of parks in it. I have been spending some time working on this, doing lots of little things in between, and we kind of got a perfect city right here. There are literally no problems, maybe a slight def problem from time to time, but otherwise you can just put this thing on full speed and it works like nothing's wrong, which is amazing. It really is. And we're going to have a look at all the things that I've been doing. But as always, 2,000 likes and we'll have another episode tomorrow. I really do appreciate your support. This series has been fantastic and this city is fantastic too. So there's a few things that I want to show you that I've been working on. First of all, this little section over here, look at the traffic. I've actually sort of solved this problem a little bit. It does get backed up from time to time, but I found out a few problems with it. Now you notice this ramp on this side of the road. By putting this ramp over here, it makes the traffic behave slightly differently. They don't all pile up into the lane on the right hand side. They tend to distribute themselves a little bit more through these lanes, and that's because the arrow here is for the right hand turn as well, so it's only ones that actually want to take that turn that tend to move over to the right. Now another problem that we had, and you can see it's starting to back up a little bit, is with these buses. I noticed this stop over here. Look at how many people are hanging out right here. It's absolutely ludicrous. There's a whole crowd of them. They're all very happy, and it tells you where they reside, where they work. But there's always a massive crowd of them here. There's always a crowd of people walking up and down as well. And look at that. They're walking across that bit right there. I'm going to have to watch that and see. Look at that. The traffic maybe slows down a little bit to let the people go around them, so maybe putting an overpass walk there might help a little bit. But anyway, another problem we had was the amount of buses going to this stop. I put loads of them, loads of different lines. Been making tons of lines around the city and sending them all to this one, it seems, to try and get rid of this crowd, but it never goes away. And when we had the ramp on the opposite side of the road, the buses would shuffle across the street and they would also cause lots of piling up issues here. But since I put the ramp on this side, that solved it tremendously. So hopefully that's helpful for you. The game is now out, so some of these tips I hope will help. And if we just have a look around, again, there's just no problems in the city, and we're making money on our budget as well. It's really cool. So I kind of added a whole bunch of areas. You can see over here we've got loads of new offices. All of this is connected to this big area right here. What I'm probably going to do today is finish zoning these areas around the edges, so all of this space is kind of used and filled up. Then over here I built another little low residential plot right here, and I put down a policy on this district because they all have districts now. This is King's Hills, and there's no hills in sight. And you can see here if we click on policies and we go over to, is it city planning? High-tech housing. So we pay 4 cents per building, but it increases the land value and all the houses become high-tech, which is pretty cool. So these ones are slightly different from your regular houses, and we might do some more of that as well. So in general, I've done lots of tweaking of traffic around the places. I've added another little office area over here. The traffic on this roundabout, last time I checked, was a lot better. Just tweaking things. I took away the road right there. That seemed to make a big difference. Changing some of these roads to one-way roads as well helped a lot. In fact, that's something I did over here. This design was pretty poor. A lot of the things we're doing are experiments, but to fix this up, I made some of these one-way roads, and I actually put an output on the other side over here. As you can see, there are free exit turnings. So that, really did help a lot. And yeah, just been spending my time fixing all the problems one by one. So over here you can see we have another university. We have also put down a couple of monuments as well. We've got the Lazaret Plaza on one side, and on the other one we have the Plaza of the Dead. And I think if we make one more of these plazas somewhere, then we'll unlock something. I think it's how it's worked. This is tier 1, so... Oh, actually we would need 2. And we would need to unlock this. And we need 10,000 squares of industrial zone. Well, that is part of the plan for today, so I guess we'll be working on that. And you can see here we've got a real spaghetti junction of roads, and I love it. I spent so much time getting this to work, and you can see now the traffic flow is very smooth and very good. And another thing that I did so many things. I built this little section over here, tried to design the roundabout here so that the roads coming off of it were, fairly straightish, if you know what I mean, so the traffic can sort of breeze right through. I don't think too often would they need to actually use, the U-turn or anything like that. And I built a couple of incinerators over here. So if we have a look, 18 to 27, and 24 to 27 are the amount of trucks being used. The reason I put this here is because I figured it would be a good idea to have incinerator stations in different places so they have different access points into the city. Like this one right here is going to come down here and take care of these areas, whereas the ones at the top are going to take care of all the rest of the city. So another place to put them might be somewhere around here as well. And then that way we can kind of divide up where they are and they get better distributed. But if we look on this, two, I mean, we could probably do away with some of these. And what I normally do is just destroy them. What we're going to do is actually turn a few of them off. So we're going to turn 4 of these off and just see how it affects trash throughout the city, because that's going to be 8 trucks in total. If we click on this one, we can easily use another 8 out of that one, and in fact we could even turn that one off as well, I think. Let's do it. Let's go extreme. We've turned 5 off, so now we've got 4 for the rest of the city. Our budget has shot up a little bit there. And that's an experiment I'm going to have to keep my eye on. So for now I'm going to turn the city speed down while we're talking. And I think I've shown you most of the things. I mean, as we fly around here, if you're very observant, you may notice the occasional road has been changed or something here and there has been tweaked a little bit. A few more trees have popped up, etc. But that's it. I also gave everything its district, its own district. And I would like for all of you to go down to the comments and suggest some district names, whether serious or humorous. I'm just going to read through all of those, and any name that I'm like, I'm going to pick out and rename in our city. So we're going to give all of the districts names. So anyway, there are a few things I want to do in this episode, and what I'd like to start off by actually doing is creating a district, because over in this area, I'm going to highlight it right now. We're going to build a new residential area. It's going to be an industry. In fact, we could do that straight away. We could click on this. This is how you create a specific industry. I was going to go for farming. That's not actually what we want to do. We want to do a forest industry over here in Bedford Hills. It keeps calling everything hills, and yet there's no hills in sight. And we're going to extend our road off in this direction like we've done over here. We're going to do it on the opposite side, and we need to be a little bit careful about that, because we want to extend this way in the future. We're going to have a load of roads going off to the left. So I think what I'll do is I'll create a second parallel lane that turns back in, and then we're going to zone out a big area here, and we're going to put some industry in it, but it's going to be different industry. It'll be some that doesn't cause any pollution because it's a tree foresting or harvesting, and also it's going to need some unskilled workers. Now if we have a look down here and we click on these buildings, you'll see that our workers are overeducated, because our education in the city is fantastic. 98% of all children are well educated, 98% of high school students are well educated, and 84 go to a university. So there's not a lot of unskilled workers. So for this right here, I got error messages when I did it in my other world that we needed more unskilled workers, and it might mean that we need to create a kind of slums area where there's not so much education, or the land value isn't so good, so we actually generate uneducated workers, which sounds bad, but we're just experimenting, we're just playing with the game. And speaking of which, there is another experiment right here. We could do recreational use. Now if we look at what it actually does in the game and think past, you know, what recreational use is actually about, you know, being able to use any sort of drug for free. So for free, you know, without consequence of the law, it says slightly increased tax income, so more money for us. Moderately increased tourism, that's good, that means more people shopping, and that'll increase traffic probably. Slightly reduced crime rate, so we instantly turn down our crime, and we increase our police budget by 15%. Oh, it's increase, I thought that was decrease. So yeah, it seems like a pretty fair trade, and there's nothing there about health. I imagine healthcare might go up a little bit perhaps if more people choose to use the drugs. I'm not going to experiment with this right now. Maybe we'll do that next episode, because we're already experimenting with trash, and I've got to keep my eye on the city to see if that becomes a problem. But anyway, for now we're going to zone out this new area. I'm going to put down the roads, and then we're going to create this new industry. Alright, all but 3 trucks were in use, so I turned on another one just in case, you know, we get like a demand and overflow, etc. But for now what we're going to do is zone all of this area. Can we click right in the middle? Note, we'll do it in 2 halves. And you might be thinking that's a massive area. Well, wait until you see how much industry actually fits in here, because they're going to use a lot of trees, and it'll be very interesting to see actually how fast this expands, because although we have a demand, it might be more so for offices than this sort of industry. And I don't see any activity. There we go. That's what we're looking for. So while that happens, I just want to check the numbers over here as well. 24 out of 27 and 17. That's interesting. I didn't check those before I turned off the one on that side. But now, of course, they need electricity and water, something I've overlooked. Let's zone that in quickly. Our electricity demand is very close, by the way. I decided what I'd start doing is tweaking the budget for its demands. So if we just turn it up an ever such a slight amount, then you'll see we just start producing more, which is a very efficient way to do it as well. We've got 4 of these things right here now, so yeah, that seemed pretty smart. So let's get out of this view right here, and you can see our industry is starting to expand. And no workers, 1 worker, and look, 1 overeducated worker. So we might see, in fact we can see them already, look. It's got an error message, or what do you call it, like a warning message. Well, that one's for not enough workers. I thought when I saw these before it was for overeducated workers. I'm pretty sure maybe it was. Maybe it was a different symbol altogether. Anyway, we need to get more workers into here, and that means we need to set up some bus routes, and we need to increase the population as well. Now our demand is for residential, so we need to set up another residential area somewhere. And I think I was thinking of going down here, setting up a strip there, and soon we'll start work on the island over here. Maybe we'll do that in the entire next episode. But somewhere I'll set up some more housing, and we'll try and get enough workers for this area. So I've shrunk down our old industrial area over here, and I think what we might do is just leave this very small, or maybe remove it completely eventually. But in here is where I want to squeeze in this other area. Now remember, we don't want this one to be too good, which sounds a little bit strange, although actually no, we need more workers. We weren't sure if the same thing was happening here as in the other world. But anyway, let's start zoning this area. In fact, actually what we need to do first of all is connect it up, and I think that is probably a little bit too small of an intersection, so maybe we'll move this road back here as well at some point. And you can see by the colour of the trees that this area right here is still a little bit polluted. But there you go. All of this is going to be a low density, or maybe not. Maybe we'll make some of it low, like in the middle, and some on the outside high. So let's make that right there all low, and then let's go for the highs around the outside here. And this is going to have like a lot of noise pollution in this area because, yeah, we've got the highway running all the way around the back of it. And our demand is there, so we should see people move in pretty soon. In fact, if you look at the size of this block right here, that one's way too small, isn't it? I'm going to have to redo the road over there. I've also put a little road to go over the side. I rebuilt this one. That's so we can have another little area over here. And eventually what I want to do is just fill up all of the space. But one of the reasons that I chose this point right here is because of the traffic coming in was so minimal on this road. I thought it would be a good one to use. And just looking at this, if you want to come into this area from the other side, you can't go in here because there's a one-way road unless you turn in this little bit. If you look at where the traffic on this side is coming in, look, you could come in from this direction, go over the top, and then find your way into this area. But if you're coming from around here, I think you have to go through the industrial area, so we might see an increase in traffic through there. But as of right now, there's not a lot happening, is there? We need to speed this up, and there's other things that I wanted to do in this episode, and we've waffled on a fair bit about this for now. So, how can we get some power lines over there? This is always tricky. You have to put them down temporarily, and then after a while you don't even need them. There we go. And then before long, that'll all expand, and we won't need anything. But we do need to put some services down in this area. I'm going to leave it be for now and just see how it works. I also set up a bus route over here, and I think what I'll do is I'll add some stops. Let's see, what colour is it? So it's blue, and what's going to happen when we put our mouse over here is we're probably going to see the purple one by default. Actually, it's saying like to create a new line. Normally when I hover over, it's always the wrong line that you click on. Except that time I think we've actually got it. So if we drag... Nope, did that not... Can we not drag that? No, apparently we can't. Let's try that one more time. We highlighted that one, we're clicking on it. It's not... Well, I don't know what's going on here. Drag to add new stop. Oh, okay, so it wasn't... I wasn't snapping to the road, basically. Alright, so if I put a stop right there, then we've added another one to this line that goes to this area. That's great. So, where was that one? It was that kind of area. Let's put one over there, and then we can put another one on the opposite side, and then over there as well. No, I've created a new one. I didn't want to do that. There we go. So we've got 4 stops in that area. We'll add a 5th one down here for good measure. Actually, we'll go through there and put it at the bottom. Yes, that looks very good. And was that a complaint for water? Let's check on our water. No, we've got plenty of that. One thing I would like to do at some point is put down a little decorative area with the water statues. And I just remembered our objective is to try and unlock this industry thing. Look at that, we're going to have to make this thing a lot bigger. So I think for now what I'll do is I'll focus on expanding this residential, building another area over here, just getting this all up to where we want to go to. I know a lot of you like to see me build on camera, but I find that it's ever so slow. We would hardly get anything done. But anyway, let's try and expand this and yeah, reach that objective. So we created a traffic problem right here. A little bit worrying is that a lot of the traffic is coming from the other side of the road. But I think what we can do is actually just create a highway that connects over here. We might have to reshuffle one or two of these roads, but I reckon it's possible. And we got the upgrade tool at the moment. So if we pause the game and just delete this road here for a moment, let's see if we can connect a highway straight across. So I'm going to curve at an awkward angle. And if we go further back here, we might remove one of the buildings by mistake. Let's try from there. So a little bit like that, then like that. There we go, let's see how that does. And by the way, I've zoned a lot more industrial area as well. I've been waiting for this to expand. I haven't put any services in this area and it seems to be fine. There are some other things I'd like to try. So we might move on to something else now while I steadily expand this, because it does take time. You can see the traffic is getting caught up here. I'll figure this out eventually. I'll stare at it and figure out exactly what we need to do. But yes, I've added some extra roads down the sides, and I wanted to do like a tax relief thing in this area, but you can't do tax relief for industry, which is a shame. Hopefully that way we could encourage more industries to pop up, but we are on our way to unlocking this thing. It's going to take some time, so I think for now we will do another little experiment that I've been meaning to do for a while. Well, we're slowly getting there. I'm pretty sure we'll get there by the end of the episode. But look at this. We got some major traffic problems. And I can't remember if I showed this tip in a video or on a live stream. But when you got traffic problems like this, if you switch these roads to highways, they tend to merge instead of having traffic lights. So things go through a little bit quicker, as you can see right there. Now this is backing up all the way around here. We're going to use the same trick again, change all of that to a highway, and it should help a little bit. But the main problem here is we've got these guys trying to go to the far lane, and we've got people coming in trying to go around to the right here. So I think what we might be able to do, and let's not upgrade that to that type of road, let's add a shortcut here. Look at that. That might just work out brilliantly. So if we go down and around, can we actually just bring it down like this into the middle? You're going to snap to either side. It's going to make this impossible to do. Maybe we don't have enough space there. Oh, we can do that. That's probably a little bit too close though. I wanted it further back. And we can't seem to just plop down the road in the middle. So what I'm going to do is expand this road right here. Let's pause the game quickly. And go like this. Take that from there. We want this tool so we can sort of bring it out to the side a little bit. That's probably not enough. We want a fair bit more. There we go. And now we should be able to bring that down. Let's go to the normal one. There we go. And then, yay, we did it. Okay, so let's see if that makes a difference. It won't be instant, but anyway, while that's working, oh, and look at that, actually it will be instant. We can see straight away that has made a difference. Now we got it backing up on this side as well. Traffic, it is a nightmare. It almost looks like we've made it worse, but traffic is flowing out of this area as well. We just got so many of these trucks coming out of this area, don't we? We're going to have to think about that, maybe give them a different path. But anyway, what I want to do right now is buy another tile. We're going to build this one over there. Remember, we can get 9 of these in total, so I think we're going to go for 5, 6 over here, 7, 8, and then the 9th one I'm not sure, but we'll buy this one for now. Let's purchase it, and then let's zoom in because, and slow down as well. We want to go into this area and build ourselves a dam. Now we don't need the electricity, but I saw something very, very cool that I'd like to try out, a little bit of a trick. So if we put a dam across like this, then the water's going to back up behind it. We have to be careful of flooding. I mean, I haven't used this before, so I don't know exactly how that works. And by the way, the dam has a road across the top of it, so you can actually connect that up and use it to get from one side to the other, which is cool. We don't need that at the moment. And we don't have access to this road down here. So we might buy that panel next, and then maybe we can divert some traffic down there. I don't know. Might be useful at some point. But what we want to do now is hook up some of these. So we're going to put an extra one up the top here. Right over on the edge of the map. Connect that up like so. And by the way the water distribution and sewage distribution works in this game is pretty much connect it up and then you're fine. As long as you've got enough demand from... or supply? I don't know how you'd say that. And why is that not connecting? That's strange. By the way, you can page up and page down these to make them go up and down. Except... I've got the dam selected, that's why. See, look, you can do that. You can make them higher or lower, which is really cool. But now we should be able to do that, and that's going to be powered. So what we want to do now is relocate these other ones. We're polluting or dumping slightly polluted water in this area, as you can see, and it flows down here where we want to build our new resort island, or whatever you want to call it. It's not going to be a resort island, but yeah, a place with people living, which we're going to do probably in the next episode now. Let's move this one. We're going to move all of them over there, basically, and then connect them all up, and then we'll resume. Actually, no, the game's running right now, so we might see a little bit of a problem emerge. Wow, we've got a lot of them over here. But the idea is to dump all of the polluted water behind the dam, and then apparently it will stay there, and only the fresh water will go through the dam, which is interesting. So we've got those ones all hooked up. 2 more to go, and then we'll no longer be polluting. We'll also be removing the noise pollution of these away from this area, which is cool. So one by one we move them over. And then we're going to click on the dam in a second to just see how that's operating. I have no idea, because this is the first time I've actually built one. Tried to build one on my other world, but I think I got distracted or something. There we go. All of those are connected up. And you can see already the water is rising on the opposite side. And how far up it's going to rise, I'm a little bit concerned. It's actually starting to flood the land over here, and the water's flowing back a little bit. That is fascinating. I hope it doesn't flood our incinerators. So what's the deal with this thing? Massive amounts of water travelling through the dam provides electricity. Power output 0. It's not hooked up to any power at the moment. By the looks of it, oh no, it is. So it's just drained the river in front of it. Wow, we can actually see like the water going down so much, and it's rising behind it a lot as well. So how does this thing on off? Like, building is turned off, but when it's turned on, I don't see any water going through. I'm gonna have to keep my eye on this. I might have to destroy this thing if it starts to flood all the land. Look at this, it's creeping up around here. We've got our incinerators on this side. Interesting stuff. It's kind of worrying, actually. It doesn't seem to be operating, does it? These expansions have created an amount of traffic I don't think my infrastructure was ready for. Everything has gone red, basically. It was all good before we started this expansion, and now we've got to rethink a lot of the roads here. But anyway, we've now unlocked the next monument, so we're going to build this over here. Let's build it right at the front. Apparently we can't put it there. I'd like to actually have it in between those 2 roads, but we're not going to rebuild them. So we'll just put it right there. And that's going to affect hardly anything around it, and it's going to need some electricity as well. There we go. So that was rather unimpressive. By the way, the dam, if we click on it again, I don't know if I actually saw this or not before. It says they're not operating. I don't know why. I don't know why. That looks like it should work, but it doesn't. In fact, I've seen some of the water flowing back down into this river at times as well. So, crazy stuff. Who knows? Anyway, let's build that other monument. We need this one right here, and then we've done a whole row of them. So, the statue of shopping, I think we're going to put somewhere over in this area. I mean, we've got a lot of commercial stuff going on around here, so why don't we actually put it right there. There we go. That makes a few people happy. But did we unlock something? No. Monuments. Reach a population of 70,000. Great, we've got to get 70,000 first. I think it's still the same deal, though. You get all 5 of these, and then you unlock a monument. So now I guess we have to start focusing on these ones. If you have a look here, all tax rates are almost 4%. That I don't think is possible for us. So we might not be able to unlock all of those. Maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Who knows? Anyway, our city needs a lot of work. Traffic again. I think I'm going to spend time in between episodes working on it. So I just redesigned this road over here. I noticed that coming up this ramp, they were going across to go down on the ramp on the other side. So I put this one behind it, put a shortcut on that side, and then that just helps with the traffic flow a little bit, and I think that's what we're going to have to do a lot around this city. Now I've noticed that a lot of traffic is coming through here, and I think that actually they're seeing it as a shortcut to come through here to get into the city. As you can see, a lot of traffic is hitting the roundabout because we've got too many turning in all at one places. So in general, we have a lot of problems to solve, and as of right now, I'm thinking about live streaming yet again later today, and that'll be on this world probably. We'll live stream me going around fixing all of the traffic problems. Now that's not a promise or a guarantee. Just if I get all the other things I've got to get done today, then I might be live streaming after you've watched this video. So you can follow me on Twitter. There's a link to it in the description box. Sorry, Twitter. Well, you can follow me on that as well. Twitch is the one where we do the live streaming, and I'll also post a comment in the video like I have done on the previous ones when I'll be live streaming. So if I am, I'll see you over there later. If not, thanks for watching. There'll be another episode tomorrow. We got a lot of things to do in this city, but we're heading in the right direction. And again, 2,000 likes and there'll be another episode for you tomorrow. So as always, thank you very much for watching, and don't forget to post a comment for the names of these districts down there in the comments.